You are. It's me, Dr. Marla Goldberrg, coming to you live with my weekly announcement. So, first of all, before we start, I still would like to send prayers to all the people that are dealing with war and strife and the challenges that Mother Nature's causing. Let's send out prayers to send peace, love, support to these people, to these areas. Because we need to join together so we can raise consciousness, send the light out, and energetically help all that's going on. And there's just so many to list. I want to address something from last week where somebody said, get real, because of something I said. And what's interesting is I'm seeing what I said being not verbatim, and it's not like they've copied me. I'm not even considering that. But other people feel the same way. There are innocent people in these wars on both sides, getting hurt, getting mutilated, afraid to try to escape or leave because of what might happen to them. They need prayers. They need help the same way we do. Not everybody. Not everyone wears the black hat. Not everyone's the bad guy. Not everyone wants war and whatever is going on. So for those people, those are the people we want to support. Those are the people we want to send our prayers to, our light to. So thank you for letting me say this. The second thing I want to share is I would love to remind you to check out my book, My Fucking Long Journey to Loving Myself, A Guide to a Shorter Path. When I wrote this a number of years ago, I wrote it because I knew I wasn't the only person dealing with dysfunction, dealing with my family's stuff and how it's affected me and the criticisms and the judgments and, all the other things. And so I wrote this book, which I'm trying to get straight, to show you that you're not the only one and to also bring you tips, tools, and techniques in the back of the book that I used and I still use to help me process and heal my wounds, helps me remove blocks, programs, interferences, imprints, and implants. So please check me out either on my website, MarlaGoldberrg with 2Rs.com, or and Amazon. Okay, so let's talk about Guided Spirit Conversations podcast. What are we going to talk about today? Well, first of all, I'm going to be doing a solo show. So would love for your participation, for you to help me by writing in questions. If you're able to watch live on my YouTube channel or my Facebook channel of the same name, on LinkedIn, anywhere this streams live, it is interactive. So you can email me or not email me, but type in questions and ask about the topic, and I would be happy to answer. So let's go with when the show is 12 noon Eastern time. Again, I mentioned my YouTube channel, my Facebook channel, LinkedIn, my Facebook groups. We all stream live. If you cannot make the live version, no worries. We upload to all of your favorite listening platforms. So it's available to you each and every week. If you like the show, I would appreciate you liking it, subscribing to it, and reviewing it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the topic that was discussed that week, or anybody you might like to see on the show, or a topic you'd like to see covered on the show. This show is created for you, to bring to you information and insights and people to help you on your path to healing, to living the life you're divinely meant to live. So please tune in, 12 noon Eastern time. What is the topic today? Have you ever heard the phrase surrender, trust, and allow? In the 20 years that I have been on this path, I've heard it many times. And I'm going to talk about it today. I'm going to dissect it into 3 categories: the surrender category, the trusting category, and the allowing category. And we're going to talk about what surrender is and what it is not, and how important surrender is for your flow, for your ability to be able to manifest what it is you want in your life. Then we'll talk about trust/faith, because trusting is faith-based, in my opinion, not faith-based like a organized religion faith. I'm talking about faith in more of a spiritual aspect, trusting in a spiritual aspect. And then allowing. How do we allow? How do we block our allowing? And how allowing is that last piece to manifesting. So I'm going to talk about that as well. There's so much more that's a part of this topic that I can't wait to be sharing with you. The reason it came to mind is I'm dealing with something in my life, in my personal life. And last week's guest brought up surrender. And all of a sudden, whoosh, I had a flood of insight, a flood of information come to me. And that is what I want to share with you, and how you can use surrendering to your benefit. It's not a negative, it's not defeat, it's not failure. We're going to talk about that. Trusting how once you surrender, you have to have that faith, that trust that you're letting go, trying to let go of control, what it brings to you. And then once you trust, how allowing just opens up the floodgate of the receiving. So we're going to talk about that today at 12 o'clock Eastern time. So I invite you to please join me. I'd love to have you. I'd love to have your comments, your questions come through. Yes. So I'm going to go get ready for the show. As I do, as always, I send you love, blessings, and gratitude. Know how grateful I am that you're in my life in whatever capacity you're in it. For not only are you my student, you are my teacher. And not only am I a teacher, I'm a student. Lifelong student at that. Now I'm going to say these 3 words to you. You know I say them. And you know I mean it from my heart to yours. I love you. You are loved. Not just by me, not just by family and friends, not by colleagues, not just by community, but you have a plethora of beings on the other side of the veil. And they are just itching to do work for you, to go out and conspire, to bring to you what it is you need, want, and desire for your highest and best good, and for the highest and best good of all involved. So talk to your beings on the other side. Tell them what you need, want, and desire, whether it's guidance or support, or even help teaching you how to surrender so that you can receive, so you could stop the blockage that trying to control everything creates. And then allow them to go and do your bidding for you. So here's a couple of caveats. Know that what the answers may come in an esoteric way. I just had something come to me. Well, how esoteric? Through another conversation. It wasn't a direct response, but when I heard it, whoosh, the information kept coming to me. And it made me go inside with that word in my meditations. And I want to share it with you. Also, you may hear your response. It may come to you in some strange way. It may come through an offer, an opportunity. It may come to you through a song lyric, a poem, a passage in a book. You may overhear a conversation, and that's it. Or you might be watching a TV interview and boom, whatever they're talking about, voila, that is what you need to hear. That's your answer. That's the response that you are looking for. But here's the other caveat. If it doesn't happen in a timely manner, and that is very subjective, go inside and see what it is you might have to shift to be able to allow your prayers, the response to your prayers, to come to you. Okay, I will be back in about 40 or maybe 50 minutes to remind you to tune into the show. Until then, have a great morning. Love you. And